Now, much like a cow belongs in a field, I belong in a pub, and most politicians these days belong in jail. An electric car belongs in its own natural environment, which is, of course, a charging point at a services. And here's today's effort, the Audi Q4 E-Tron Sport in a lovely dark blue colour. It's all right, and that's the best thing to say about this car. It's all right. Weirdly, it's got good range. I'm hoping to get 250 miles out of this, and then there we go, and do the journey in one charge. Now, there is some good bits about it. For example, when I got up this morning and it was pitch black, I found this. Now that is actually quite cool. So it has a good point. It's got a flashy light. 50 grand brand new on the road. Weirdly, a lot cheaper on lease, and we'll come on to the lease bit in a bit because that's quite interesting. So, oh, it's locked. I've actually locked something for once. Let's have a look inside. Inside is all right. See, it's all right. Seats are all right. Dull grey interior, black, bit of chrome. Angle things because it's electric, so you've got to have angle things. Because lovely set of clocks on it. Oh, get in focus. There we go. As you can see, she's charging right now. Look, been charging for 10 minutes, already up to 147 miles. And this thing, I'm reliably informed by the bloke I picked it up off, will do between 270 and 320 miles on a full charge. Bit special, that. There's your gearbox. Backwards, forwards. That's about it, really. Doesn't need anything else than that. Start, stop. And in the back, plenty of room. So it's all right. Now, the first thing to notice is that I've invested in a new in-car bracket, which now gives me full widescreen capabilities from a different angle. So I'm not looking over there all the time, playing with that bracket that was broken all the time. You know, what can I say? £11 well spent on Amazon. It's quite a good one, actually. I'm quite pleased with it. So, here in the Audi E-Tron, 50 grand brand new, or about £400 on lease. And it's actually one of the better ones. It's got a good range. As you can see, it's all right. But that's the problem. It's just all right. It drives, but it's all right. I mean, it gets you from A to B really quickly, really quietly, but don't give you anything back. It just is. It just does. So anyway, more importantly, as I'm in the services, I popped in for a pee. And picked trap one, because I'm quite lazy when I go to motorway services. And does anybody else do this? When you go into motorway services, do you have a favourite, or even in fact any public toilet where there's more than one toilet, do you have a favourite number? I will always go trap 1 or trap 2. I very rarely go any further than that. I don't know why. It is a psychological thing. Maybe it's just me. But I always have a favourite toilet, particularly if I'm going to sit down. Then I'll always go trap 1 because you're on the end. I think that's important. Anyway, enough about my motorway toilet habits. While I'm there, I was having to sit down, by the way. I was having to stand up. And this was in front of me in true motorway services style. There's an advert. This time, it's not for Shazia and her period problems in Africa. It was Loco Leasing. And all these different cars are there. So this is the poster I could see. Now, what I found most interesting, to the point where I finished peeing a long time ago by the time I finished, I was still reading this, is have a good look at this. I'll put it up again now. Have a quick study. Notice anything different? If you look closely, you will see that all the petrol and diesel cars have a mileage allowance of between 9 and 10,000. And all the electric ones have a mileage allowance of 5,000. Now, there could be multiple reasons for this, but the one thing that sticks out more than anything else is they don't expect you to drive very far in an electric car. They don't want you to drive very far in an electric car, and they're not allowing you to drive very far in an electric car without severe penalties. So not only are electric cars designed to be less mobile, make you less mobile, and make your journeys longer and harder, the lease companies are doing their bit by restricting the amount of miles you can do in the first place. So you can have a Tesla, I can't remember the exact, was it 377 quid on that poster? But you can only do 5,000 miles a year in it, 100 mile a week. Well, Teslas do like 300 on one charge. So you only have to charge it once every 3 weeks. Does it strike you as odd in any way whatsoever that the average motorist does between 10 and 12,000 miles a year? That's well documented. Everyone knows that. But the average electric car motorist is expected to do half that, if not less. Because if you go over it, you get charged per mile. So now, not only is there a concerted effort to make it harder to drive anywhere for long distances or even do any, there's now a financial penalty involved in it as well. Now, this could be just this one lease deal that I've seen. It's not. But let's assume that other lease deals are offering extra miles. You can guarantee that if they're offering extra miles, they're charging money for it. So you've got to pay extra for the privilege of being able to do what the average motorist does in the UK on a yearly basis, which is 10 to 12,000 miles a year. So it's not a conspiracy. It's not even a theory. If it's happening, it's real. We have a situation in this country where every effort is being made to make people drive less. There can be no other conclusion to come from apart from that. We've all got to go electric, apparently, 2035, but 2030 under zero emissions vehicle mandate. So if we've all got to go electric, we've all got to drive less. We've all got to do half the miles we're doing now, because nobody's buying one of these things. This thing here is 50 grand. No one's going to go out and buy one for cash. You can have it on lease for 2 years, at which point you hand it back. It goes into the second-hand market and then disappears because nobody's buying second-hand. It'll get released out again on probably the same tariff to someone that couldn't afford it the first time round but might have it the second time round for a slightly less deposit or something. Either way, that's half the mileage. And the plan is that you will drive half the miles you're already driving because you could use public transport. Except it's well documented by me and pretty much everyone else in the world that trains are shit. Buses are a lottery. I mean, when buses turn up, they're quite efficient. I say efficient. A 20-mile journey in a bus takes about an hour. It's not really that efficient, is it? All right, it's cheap, but it's not very efficient. And it's certainly not quick. And they're certainly not reliable. No matter how hard the bus companies try, they are not reliable. So what's your alternative? Flying? Well, no, we're not allowed to fly. Oh, so the alternative is that you don't go anywhere. All right, see, and we all come back to the same conclusion, which is the plan is to stop us moving anywhere outside your 15-minute city. Go to Oxford, see how they're getting on there. And everyone's just sleepwalking into it. It's amazing. They're advertising the fact in toilet urinals. Doesn't say for a good time ring this number anymore. It now says for a shit time for the rest of your life, sign up to one of these lease deals. Oh, I don't know. Right, so anyway, there's Monday's conclusion. The Audi Q4 is all right. It's going to get me to where I want to go. Charging's ended. It's not going to get me to where I need to go. Charging is ended and I've only got 173 miles of range. See, I know that this isn't fully charged. Hang on. Let me fire her up. Oh, I can't. Charging cable's still attached. 173 miles. And the charging stopped. Charging took 35 minutes. But I was expecting 200 and something. See, this is it. It's a bloody lottery, isn't it? This is live. And you just don't know. You don't know what... Life is not like a box of chocolates. Oh, no, life is like a box of chocolates, isn't it? Because you just don't know what you're going to get. I was expecting 270. I've got 170. Whether it's because the charger stopped halfway through like they do all the time, I don't know. But I'm going to have to go sort this out now. So hang on, bear with me. I'll be back in a minute. Right, it says it's charged to 80%. And it says 173 miles of range. Now, I know that's wrong. But that's what it says. Because the computer can't compute. Well, I've got more than 173 miles to do. So this video was going to end now, but it's not. It's going to have to continue. So when I get a bit further up the road and the range resets itself to something decent, I'll let you know. But for now, I'm going to do 170 miles and then have to stop again. The world of milk floatery, alive and exclusive, only on the EV Carnage channel. See you in a minute. Right, when you left me, I was in Exeter services with what I thought was going to be 270,000 miles, 270 miles of range, and it was only 167. And it was only 167 because I am now here in Reading services. It got me exactly to Reading services. The range is exactly right. So it's not 260, it's 160 if you're driving on a motorway, just driving at motorway speeds constantly. The range goes down just like every other milk float. This is no different. It's gone from being all right to there. There you go. Yet another journey that should take 4.5 hours. I've already been on the road for 4.5 hours and I've still got another hour and a bit to go. The beauty of milk float driving, takes you longer to get there, more inconvenient and more expensive. Brilliant. Future my arse. There, that's covered that. So that's covered leasing, toilets, and milk floats are still crap. All on a Monday morning. What more could you want from the greatest YouTube channel of all time? Cheers.